days until you get to wake up and say that you are on summer. Watch out for the fish, they're dead. Until you wake up and say summer vacation is here. Please put away your electronic devices. That's all of your AirPods, phones, earbuds, and get out your notebook. Today, we're going to go ahead and think about ways that humans can affect, and by affect, I mean how they can pollute rivers and streams. So that's what we're going to be doing. Jaron, you good?
Yep.
Billy, will you please put that away? Thank you. No need to be snotty, dirty. Today, we're going to do our capture question. We're going to make sure, hey, how did the video go yesterday? That was your homework. Got to get you a sheet.
How did the video go?
Yesterday we watched a video, and the video, can you give that to Michaela, please? The video that we watched is going to be a review of over what we did on who has access to clean water or just water in general around the different regions of the world. But today we're going to go ahead and look at river pollution and talk about ways that humans can pollute rivers and streams. So if you'll notice, when you walked in, there were dead fish on the floor, and they are in the Racheville stream. In the town of Raymond, there was a fish kill. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and be forensic scientists and go out in the field and test the water from the Racheville stream and see if we can figure out who that is bordering the stream is responsible for killing the fish. So students, from collected data, students are going to be able to draw conclusions regarding water quality and human activities. How are we going to do that? Students are going to use proper laboratory processes to test water samples for phosphates and nitrates while investigating a fish kill at a community stream. So I'm going to be quiet now and let you write down the question. That'll give you an opportunity to take attendance for us. And then we're going to hop right into it because you're going to need the entire day to get this lab completed and then turned in by the end of the class period for grading.
Birds are scary.
We do have birds because we're going to go out into the field and we're going to the town of Raymond, and the town of Raymond is kind of rural. So we are stepping out in the town of Raymond, and so we've got birds that are tweeting, and it's all about trying to be as authentic as possible. Has anyone seen Karen today?
No.
I don't want to scare you, I'm sorry, but thank you. Don't throw things, please, in the science classroom.
You get that from the past.
All right, so let's go ahead with our pair share partners. Let's skip the pair share partners and just talk.
My bad.
Turn it this way, bud. All right, could you please share with me? I'm going to go ahead and give us a sentence starter. Ways that humans pollute streams, ... What are some ways that humans can pollute a stream? Go ahead. Okay, we can have runoff from farms. All right, runoff from farms, and that could potentially be fertilizer, or it could be sewage, right? Agricultural poop and sewage. Where else? Go ahead, Lila. Littering, okay. So we can have litter, that's how I spell litter. Litter or street pollution. So every time that you drop something on the street or the sidewalk and it rains, where does it go?
Ocean.
Well, not right away. Yeah, it goes into the stream, right? It goes into what are those things called when they run off? Yeah, the storm sewers, and then it goes into the streams. Does litter have two T's? There you go, litter. Litter or street pollution. Otherwise it's litter, right?
Yep.
What else? Yuma.
Like oil and gas.
Okay, so we can have oil, I'm gonna come over here, we can have oil or gas leaks because that also goes onto the streets and then that runs into the streams, absolutely. All of those curbside areas where they go down, eventually it goes to the streams. Yeah,
Plastics.
help me out here, from industry,
Just in general, there's a lot of plastic
so pollution.
pollution.
Yeah, just litter or pollution going in there, absolutely, yep.
There's a fact up there, overfishing.
Overfishing, okay, we could overfish them. Overfishing could take that out, okay? I like what we said though about plastics. Do you think industry could go ahead, like some industrial plant might dump some stuff into rivers or streams? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Let's just say industry. Industry pollution. Sometimes industry pollution, what they do is they pipe, I don't know, into streams, right? Into streams, which would be awful. Now, you don't see that a lot anymore. One thing that I want to put on here is I want you to know the difference between point and non-point pollution. This is going to be really important because you're going to have to answer this in your lab. Point pollution means we know exactly where it comes from. We know exactly where pollution comes from. An example of that would be like a corporation. Okay, so we know that we see the pipe going right out and dumping. Point pollution is very, very, very hard to find. Most of the pollution that happens is non-point. No specific area of pollution. An example of that would be the city streets. You don't know exactly where that pollution originated from. Just kind of all gets washed and kind of put in. Point pollution is much, much more rare. Point pollution, has anybody ever seen that movie with Julia Roberts and she was after the corporation that was like,
Yeah, I've seen it.
what is it?
What's it called?
It's the Julia Roberts.
Aaron Brockovich.
Yes.
Aaron Brockovich, yeah, where she was going after a corporation for polluting the groundwater of a city. That would be point pollution. We know exactly where that pollution came from. All right, I like this. Let's go ahead and jump right into our lab. I want to let you know that you're going to have a little water quiz on Monday, and then we're going to start some soil collection and some information on soil. Let's get out our lab. You picked it up on the way in, and there's some very important safety issues that we have to go ahead and talk about.
Have to wear safety glasses.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about why. Who would like to go ahead and set the scene for us?
Oh, do you want what?
Do you want to read it?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
A massive fish kill has occurred in Rochville Stream in the town of Raymond. The townspeople of Raymond are in an uproar and intensive efforts are being made to determine why the fish kill has occurred. Your job as the
Forensic.
forensic scientist is to determine what and who may be responsible for the fish kill.
Good job. Safety precaution. This lab uses chemicals that can be harmful if swallowed and may irritate the skin. Please wear your goggles at all times when handling chemicals. So the moment we go over there, your goggles are going to stay on your face until the bell rings, okay? Like, no joke. This is the first time that I've had you working with chemicals. So since Mrs. McGrain is up front, I'm going to go ahead and put my chemicals on because we have got 3 water samples up here that have been treated, right? I made these so that you can try to figure out water sample 1, water sample 2, and water sample 3 which is polluted, where the pollution came from, and so on. You have a map. This is the town of Raymond. Everybody see this? This is the town of Raymond.
Stream.
Now, we have sample number 1 was collected right here. Right past, because remember the river flows downhill. This is the river, or excuse me, down in this direction. Rivers only flow one way. And this first sample was taken right after where the Valley Detergent Company is. So sample number 1 was collected right after where Valley Detergent has their company. Sample number 2 is right here, so it's after the detergent company and also after it's past the water treatment plant, the sewer plant. So that's right here, that's where sample 2 came from. Sample 3 was collected right down here past the Countryman Farm and then also downtown Raymond. So that's where sample 3 came from. Just so that you understand where the samples come from, and each desk has one of these maps on it so that you can go ahead and try to figure out which one of these companies is responsible for putting something in the river that would have killed all of those fish that we saw coming in. Okay, you are also going to have a green piece of paper at your tables. This is what it looks like. You are going to be testing for 2 different kinds of pollutants. You're going to be testing for the amounts of phosphates, and information on phosphates are right here as far as how are phosphates created. Not created, but like who uses it, what industry uses phosphates. And then what are the safe levels for phosphates that are over here. And then also you're testing for nitrates. Where do nitrates come from are right here. And then what are the safe levels for nitrates are here. So this is the information you're going to need from this. I'm not going to have each group test phosphates and nitrates. You're going to be working in partnerships. So number 1 and 2, you're going to be 2 different forensics teams. One of you is going to be collecting information on the phosphates, and one of you is going to be collecting information on how much nitrates are in there. And then you're going to share the information. Okay, you're going to say, hey, look at ours. This is how much parts per million we found. 3 and 4, you're going to be working together. And then 5 and 6, you're going to be working together. Notice that all the tables right now have their little test tubes upside down draining. Those test tubes have been cleaned and properly set up for you so that you're ready to go. The last class dumped out the liquid. They put some water in, capped it, shook it real hard, and dumped it. Then I had them rinse out the test tube 2 times with distilled water so that the natural tap water won't affect your results. So distilled water is just water that's been kind of gone through a process so it takes out any nitrates, phosphates, chlorine, anything like that. So when you're cleaning up, dump it, rinse it under real water, cap it, shake it, dump it again. And then you're going to go ahead and put a little bit of distilled water in it, not a lot, just a little, cap it, shake it, dump it, a little bit of distilled water, cap it, shake it, dump it, and then put it upside down for the next group. Okay, that's going to prepare it so that it won't get contaminated. You've got sample 1 right here, sample 2, and sample 3. You're also going to need, if you are checking for phosphates, this is a phosphate indicator tab, okay? So you're going to be checking the levels of phosphates at each of the 3 samples. So on your table, you're responsible for grabbing 3 phosphate tabs because you have 3 different sample of water that you're going to be testing. If you're doing nitrate testing, then you have to grab 3 of the little nitrate indicator tabs. Okay, that's what you're going to be doing. All right. So then you are going to be put in groups. Make sure somebody at your table is going to be reading the instructions. And please, at the end, wash your dang hands. Wash your hands so that you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about anything getting in your eyes. Okay? Please, please, please. One of my last students at my last class said, students said, Miss McGrain, why are we using chemicals if they could hurt us? And I said, because you are in high school, and we are expecting you to be able to act in a way that when we tell you what to do, you're going to be able to do it. Now, the person that I told this for, whatever, but I'm trying to keep you as safe as possible. Yes, it was pain. I'm trying to keep you safe. So make sure somebody at your team is reading it. Now, it's telling you to go get sample number 1, then go get sample number 2. Please do that, but you can't wait 5 minutes, test sample 1, and then wait 5 minutes, test this. You're gonna run out of time. So make sure that you're gonna have to get 5 milliliters of each one. 5 milliliters is this one right here, or you can use this until you fill it up to the 5 right here. That's 5 milliliters of your solution. But if you come up here and everybody waits for sample number 1, we're gonna be waiting a long time. So if somebody's taking sample 1, put that phone away. Have somebody else take sample 3, right? So make sure that you're using your time wisely. I'm scared to death because I've already seen several people in here not paying attention because you're on your phone and you're talking to other people. I'm worried. Please make sure that you are doing what you need to be doing. If I see goggles off, if I see you being unsafe, I'm gonna just say, hey, please leave my classroom. Not because I don't like you, but because you're too important for me to risk harming you or other people in any way. So I'm going to number you off by groups of 6. You are number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, Michaela? Michaela? Are you going to do lab today? 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So that means you're going to go to the table that's got your number. Glasses on. Glasses on.
Sorry.
Okay, just breathe through it. No drinks or anything at tables today, please. No water bottles or anything at lab tables today.
We just need,
Hey, make sure when you put your water samples, you're keeping in track about where your water samples are in what order. One at a time, kiddo. Okay? Sure, why not? But that means that other people might not be able to get them all, but that's okay. All right.
yeah, we need all 3.
Wait, so this one? So,
You can do that, yep. It looks like Billy's bringing all of them up at once, or you can just bring one at a time. That would work also.
Why wouldn't you trust me?
You gotta make sure though that none of the sample gets in any of your other tubes.
So, I just go, please don't bring.
So 3 is available if somebody wants to use 3. 2 is being used right now. 1 looks like it's available.
How much does that be filled up?
We already said that. How much does it have to be filled to, people? No, phones, please. 5. So, yeah, 5 goes here, or you can have 5 there. You can hold it up in your hand, bud.
I can't see it. And you can't take my glasses.
5.
Oh, right there.
There you go. Close enough, darling. That looks good. Close enough and close enough. I'm talking about. Okay, now make sure you don't get the 1 and the 2 confused. I have no idea where you took it out of here. So do you want to give that to your group? Okay.
Are we testing which one are we doing, nitrate or the other?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes. Nitrate. Nitrate.
Yeah, what you're testing is on your table,
I
okay?
gotta take one of these.
1 for 2. Where's your caps, man? Okay?
Wait, Jen, how many you take?
You take one per tube. So you're gonna have 3 tubes, so, no. What are you testing at your table, phosphates or nitrates? Does your card say phosphate? Okay, then you just take the phosphates, yep, 1 per tube.
You can still keep it.
Yep, you can come back.
Alright, I'll get one.
You can come on this side, Dawn.
Someone can take sample number 2.
You probably should have those capped, sweetie.
Sam,
Sample
what
number
are we
2 is
testing?
available.
Nitrate?
Sample 1.
Sample number 1 is being used right now by Zach.
Oh, that's Zach. May I use it when you're done, Zach? Thank you.
Hey, just a reminder, today was Sign My Shirt Day, so, not my shirt, but I mean, wear a shirt that you
Zai,
can
can I sign
sign
your
like
shirt?
Zaya's.
Alright, hey, Zaya.
Has to be 5 milliliters.
Payment almost.
That almost is fine, yep.
That looks like a lot.
Good? 3 is available,
Wait,
second
someone's
one's
giving me
choose
one. Oh,
3.
you did not. You did not just do that.
Here's 3 test tabs
accidentally got
for
4
nitrate.
Yep. This
One
is
per test
nitrate.
tube. Let's
Can you
get it
please
up,
use, bring me the caps? Should we say extra safe?
Which one are you testing, Rebel, nitrates or phosphates?
Go, Darren. Here you go. That's it. That's just only 3.
Well, what if there was like another one that disappeared?
Careful, I'm seeing some dripping on the ground. Just to let you know, this is just not regular water, okay? There are chemicals in here that can hurt us.
Okay, can someone hand me one when they're done?
Those are already at your table. You done phosphate?
Maybe in a while.
5 milliliters each, so 5 is right here. So you might want to hold it in your hand. Sample 3 is or 2 or 3 is available. Does anybody need sample 2 or 3?
No.
You should be doing all of them at once. 5 minutes. Somebody time them for 5 minutes once you have your.
I'm going my fastest. Gotta be safe.
Better to be safe, yeah. He's kind of shaky. Make sure that you know which one's 2, know which one's 3, know which one's 4. Look at your map as far as where these are being collected. Shake them for 5 minutes. It says 5 minutes. Doesn't it say? Oh, shake it until it's dissolved and then wait 5 minutes. My bad. So sorry. So right.
I'm coming.
So which was that? 1. Okay, so if it's 1, and was here.
Yes. Wait.
In some.
No.
What about the other
This
one?
one.
Those are that change. What was that one taken from? But we have such a high amount of things that
Yeah, you
happen
put it
right
in your
here.
hand.
And yet, value has something to do with it. Right, nitrates? Okay, so. What's number 1? Okay, so then let's read on nitrates to see where nitrates could be started from.
Yeah, it will.
It could break.
Okay, where did this one come from? Okay, hun is right here. So I'm thinking maybe let's see, what are you guys testing? Nitrates so read nitrates as far as nitrates possibly come from. But this one also looks like something's happening. And where was this one from? So maybe by the time it got to 2, it got washed out and diluted? I don't know. I don't think got anything either. It's totally. But when you look at these, though, so read nitrates and see what you got going on there.
That looks pretty dissolved.
Ew, it looks like poo.
What's the middle one? Okay, it's too funky. That one looks, what is this one? So then that was, did he as this one? So I'm wondering if maybe since this was collected right after this, the Raymond soup might have something to do with it? Read about phosphates, read about where phosphates come from. When y'all get your results, gather and share your results. I mean, yes, because remember, half of it, they're testing half of it. When you guys are finished with yours together, hey, you guys are working together. So you have to go ahead and talk about, well, this is where the nitrates came from, well, this is where the phosphates came from. So you guys come together so that you know, okay? You're gonna work together as a big team. So when y'all are done, work with this, and you guys bring your data together and bring all of your, like, you bring your files over, they'll bring their files, they'll tell you where their collected was. And then we'll work together to see what we think. When your 5 minutes is gone, if you can hear me, clap once. When your 5 minutes is up, I want you to please go with your partners, your partner table, and look at all the data.